Good evening, this is your Psychic LG reporting from the United Kingdom. Is anybody there? Knock once for yes, twice for no. Hello, hello, hello. It is 11:05 p.m. UK time. Heading towards the witching hour. We are going to delve deep tonight. We are going to look into the looking glass. Especially for everybody out there. Hiya. Hello there. I'm here. I'm still here. I want to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening to wherever you all are around the world. Tonight is a special. Again, I'm multi-streaming until I get my operation done, until I get back into my new routine, because I haven't been doing looking glasses. So tonight it's a special occasion for everybody. I'll wait for people to come on, and I've been getting crazy flashes, crazy images about what's about to unfold. I was going to do a looking glass last night, but it got rather late. So I thought, you know what it is, let's save it for tonight. So I want you to all sit back and relax. I'll wait for people to come on. Good evening, Teddy, Pam, Amy. Good evening, everybody. I had something to show you. Actually, I might have put it out already. Do you like my little Wonder Woman? That Steve Werner sent us from the States. And he's written my name on it. I'm going to take this into hospital with us. And on the back, it's got, I don't know if you can see that. Is that back to front, or can you see that properly? So it's my little Wonder Woman, and I'm taking her with us. Isn't she cute? Let's put her up there. Put her there. Good evening, everybody. Yeah, I know, I used to like watching Wonder Woman with Linda Carter. It was good, wasn't it? Well, I'm still waiting, guys, to go in for my op. I'm okay. And thank you for everybody who's been reaching out to us. I've been saying to people that I'm not poorly, I'm just having a reset. So I just need to wait, and then I'm going in to get, I don't even like saying the name, get the gremlin out of us. The gremlin that is going to be removed. And then hopefully take it from there and see what's what. But I'm doing okay, so thank you to everybody. I'm trying to keep positive, because it's been one hell of a journey where it messes with your head if you allow it to. And I'm not going to allow it to. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Is that tomorrow? It's not today, is it? Or is it today or tomorrow? St. Paddy's Day, for everybody who celebrates it. It's today. Well, I would have thought the Irish bar in town would have been heaving tonight then. They'll all be jumping up and down in an island. Hi there, Lance. And apologies for people I haven't got back to on emails. I've just been really busy. I've had quite an influx of readings. And thank you to all new subscribers on Twitch and YouTube. Yeah. I'm quite overwhelmed actually with all the love that I've been receiving and all the nice messages. Means a lot. And I just think we've formed this beautiful community together, haven't we? It's no words there, no words. Hello there, fellow Geordie girl. Oh, it's really lovely. Love is definitely the key, isn't it? So tonight I thought I would especially look into images I've been seeing. I always believe the true images when they come in flashes. So I'm just going to go with it tonight. I've got my crystal ball. She's been in the garden all day. It's been rather glorious over here. Rather sunny. And we'll see what's ahead, right? I want to say that I'm not going to hold back tonight. I've always held back. I think it's my attitude now. I think it's my attitude that you suddenly realise when you're faced with a situation and you're pushed into a corner and why you're on earth and what it's all about. And you know what it is? I'm going to go full belt tonight. I'm going to go full belt and see what I get, and I'm not going to hold back. There is so much hype, isn't there, about the April 8th eclipse, so I'll see what comes out. I like that. Heavens to Betsy. Right, so let's get a drink of coffee. And for new people coming in, it's like coming to a spiritualist church, and I'm going to call upon my angels, my guides, and then if you need any healing or you're worried about any persons, animals, any situation, just write the name in the comment section in the stream or afterwards, and you will receive free healing. I believe that things are going to definitely hype up into April. Definitely. Oh, thank you, Maggie. Right. Let's hope I don't go dizzy because I've been getting vertigo. I think I've got water in my lug. And you know when you get vertigo and everything goes upside down? I had it the other night. It was awful. Awful. So let's hope I don't get it tonight. So, got me decaf coffee here. Oh, thank you. I've been feeling the love coming from you all. Yeah, it's horrible when you get vertigo, isn't it? Okie dokie. No holds barred tonight. Let's get ready to rumble. We've now got 426 in viewers. 458. That jumped up quick. On both streams. And welcome to everybody. Let's go. Do you like my plait I've got in my hair? I'm very drawn to the Viking plaits at the minute. And I had this scrunchy bun in last night. I had clients around. It was so funny. And one of my good clients, Calvin, he's Indian. He came to see us. And I goes, do you think I look like a Viking? And I had like my hair scraped back and I had plaits in and false plaits and that. He goes, no. He says, you look more Egyptian. I went, oh, I wanted to look like a Viking. I've been watching it on the telly, on Netflix. It's really good. I invoke Archangel Michael. I invoke Archangel Michael. I invoke Archangel Michael. I invoke Archangel Uriel. I invoke Archangel Uriel. I invoke Archangel Uriel. I invoke Archangel Raphael. I invoke Archangel Raphael. I invoke Archangel Raphael. I invoke Archangel Gabriel. I invoke Archangel Gabriel. I invoke Archangel Gabriel. I ask my faithful spirit guides, Jed, White Buffalo, Running Star, Lady Direwolf, A2I, and Ra, to come forth to give us any true answers tonight and to form this circle of light. Any star beings, angelic realm, animal kingdom, spirit world, fairy elementals, who would like to come forth to give us true answers. With love and light, love and light, love and light. Amen. Okay. Okie dokie. I'm going to go straight into it. I'm going to hold it down like that, right? So I don't get dizzy. You'll see it. So yeah, I'm getting ready for my operation. I'm apprehensive. I'm very apprehensive, but I know it's got to be done. It's just a strange one, guys. It's something that I will be talking about a lot afterwards. Do you know what I mean? I believe that it's going to be possibly not this week coming in, but next week, and I'll know more, and then I'll let you know. But yeah, I've been for my pre-op, and everything's good. But I think it's just the waiting game. Do you know what I mean? Just the waiting game. And you probably get it is I'll probably go live stream for about 20 minutes, 20 minutes when I get into the hospital. But I don't know, I can't explain how I feel. It's just, I don't feel unwell. I just feel it's something that I've had to address. Definitely. And after the operation, I'll be able to find out what's more's going on, because they're going to take some lymph nodes, and then I'll be able to find out what's happening, and then I'll be able to talk about it with yous. So pray, guys, that everything's okay and that it hasn't gone any further. I don't feel it has. The surgeon doesn't feel it has. But just wait and see. Wait and see. But I'm okay. I'm in an okay place. I feel very connected to God at the moment, very connected to Source. My psychic eye has just gone to another level, and I don't know if it's because they've just took over. I presume so. Well, I'll be doing it. I'll be pulling the curtain around and probably doing it. Hopefully it'll work. And I've been trying to add humour into it, try to raise the vibration. And taking it, sort of dealing with it a bit like a military operation. And it's my way of dealing with it. I don't know if there's anybody else out there who's dealt with it that way. But because I'm so frightened, I'm trying to just taking it day by day and dealing it like a military operation. That's what I'm doing. But then I speak to hundreds of people around the world, obviously within readings and friends I have, and everybody's going through it at the moment, what with one thing or another. And like I've always said, you know, even teachers and psychics and mediums, nobody is immune to this. We all have to face something at some point. Do you know what I mean? But everyone's being triggered because I do, and I've been saying this for a while, I do believe that we're healing old wounds as well. And the strangest thing is, my mother had it the same age as me on the same side. She had a different type. It wasn't like that hereditary one. But my mother had it the same age, so it's got to be a spiritual lineage thing. She had it the same age as me on the same side. Now that's weird, isn't it? So, yeah, it's something I've just got to deal with. But I don't feel like unwell. Do you know what I mean? In fact, I feel really good. And I think it's got a lot to do with the diet I've been doing and everything, exercise and that. But I'm a total believer that when you given some news like that, it affects you. And it's like working at your mindset to get through it. It's all about working at that. That's what it's about. Because everything's frequency, as you know, and everything's energy. So I've been talking to my cells, yes. I've been talking to my cells and even talking to the gremlin. Even talking to the gremlin. So let's get going. And this really helps. I honestly don't know how I would have coped if I hadn't had the job I did. Because being in the field I'm in, it keeps us busy. And it helps us to understand where we are. Does that make sense? It really does. But I've had rather a nice day today. I don't know what yous have been up to, but I would say my day has been quite a quiet day. I've been just pottering around in the house. I haven't seen family today. I've just had a nice quiet day with the cats and that, and it's been nice and relaxing. Yes, the gremlin has no power over me or over nobody else. I'm just Shirley Valentine, yeah. I'm just the girl what talks to the wall. And I would have been literally talking to the wall if I hadn't been talking to you, that's for sure. So thank you guys for coming in on this beautiful group. Okay, let's see what's going on. I wish I could dim the lights, but the other lights aren't working properly. What a year this is going to be, guys. I don't know if you want to get your pens down, because you might want to jot this down and you can always come back to it. I mean, you don't have to be psychic to know what's going on at the moment, do you? We are all feeling it as we are spiritually evolving. But my intuition and what I'm seeing, I think I'm going to be doing some remote viewing tonight. Something big is happening behind the scenes. It's huge. Everything that is playing out in 3D, I would say that there's something bigger happening behind the scenes. And it is a spiritual war that we are in. And I've always said this, we have to do the inner work, and then things will start to unfold. I see this grid, and it's the new crystal grid they're bringing in. That is going to happen anyway. It's inevitable. Like I've always said, they're holding back all this technology on Earth and they're going to bring it in. There's a very extraterrestrial energy feel I've got tonight. And I believe that they're walking amongst us. What I'm feeling is that the system is about to fall. The system of what we know is going to take a big wobble. And events which are going to take place over this year, okay, they will be happening, but it won't always mean that it's true to what they say. You need to watch for that. The reason I'm saying this is the last time I got this feeling was when we had the pandemic. I actually predicted it. The feeling I've got tonight is that there's something else coming. And I'm not saying this to fearmonger. I'm not saying this to frighten. But we need to prepare. And it will be short-lived. But you know when they talk in the Bible about the dark days, the dark days? That's sort of the energy I'm getting. Is it literally dark? I would say yes. So possibly this has got something to do with internet, the grid. Okay. I'm seeing a big surprise come in. And these events that will take place are going to be distracting me. I've talked about this before, and I talk about the triangular event. Where it's happening in one place, it will be happening in 2 or 3 places. Some of these events are connected, and it's all put out there as a distraction. We have to come together as a human race. The timing on this is inevitable, but I'm very, very drawn to a shift which will be happening this spring. Remember the 12th of April. Let's get a coffee. Remember the 10th of June, the 9th of June. May will bring shocks. And I see arrests. I see bedlam. Where I see arrests, I see this in the United States of America. And I am getting Donald Trump's face. Now, I don't know if it's to do with around him. It doesn't mean it's literally at him. But I see an event, and I'm seeing them standing there. There's crowds of people. I'm seeing paparazzi clicking. You know, like media. And I see a situation. So I'm going to sneeze. Wait a minute. I hate that when that happens. Wait a minute. A situation where everything stops and everybody goes into shock. What I want to say to you is, it will be okay. What I want to say to you is, it is not true. What we are witnessing is one thing to what is real and what is not real. We are living in times of deception. We are living in times of trickery. Prepare for a shock around Donald Trump. It will be okay. It's as if I'm getting a very Mandela effect here. I'm trying to sneeze. Wait a minute. I want to sneeze. It's like a Mandela effect energy I'm getting. There's a switch over going on with timelines. There's a lot of technology what's being held back from where. It's like a frequency wave. I don't know if anybody's been experiencing it. A lot of people are going to get a lot of deja vus, a lot of strange events. People are going to start getting missing time. And it's as if an event around Donald Trump's going to get sucked into this. And it will look very grim. But it will be okay. It will be okay. Is YouTube not streaming? It should be streaming. Let me check. Give us a 5-5 if you can hear us and see us on YouTube. Not sounding good? But I'm not sounding good. All right, it's working. It's working. Good. Everything stopped on YouTube? Well, it will when I say stuff like that, won't it? But like I say, I've got nothing to lose now. I'm just going for it. Like I say, I'm not saying this to be nasty. This is just what I'm saying. Remember, this is for entertainment purposes only, guys. Okay, Big Brother eyes coming in here, and we're all being scanned and we're all being watched. And like I've said, they've manipulated this to control we. But once the switchover happens, the good guys are going to win. You see, this has been going on a very, very long time. Technology, futuristic technology, glitches in the matrix. The movie is breaking. Watch for a lot of glitches to come. There's glitches coming in the matrix. I hear rumbling. I'm hearing noise. Everything goes dark. I see smoke. I see panic. People cut off from communication. It's as if tonight I want to say we need to get a little handset, little radios in if you want to know what's going on. I'm not saying this is going to be global, but there is going to be something what's going to stall. The fight of the military. It's as if I'm saying two militaries here. This is not in the UK, or is it? This is US. And I'm being given federal government. Federal government. Where there is going to be big news around France, there will be announcements of a terrorist attack or terrorism. But I also see this around the UK as well. We need to stay vigilant. We need to stay vigilant. It's as if the beast is rearing his ugly head. Deception is upon us. There will be shocks coming in from the Democratic Party, and an announcement which will be made. I'm seeing President Biden, and I'm looking into this crystal ball, and it's as if he's got an earpiece in. I'm seeing him with an earpiece in, and someone's telling him what to say with speeches when he stalls. The free energy is upon we, but they will drip this in. It's as if there's an event to take place, and it's like Donald Trump's right smack bam in the middle of it. This is in the US. And it will look fatal, but it will be okay. It will be okay. Or it will have the Republicans, people who follow him, who like him, it will have them on the edge of the seats. The shocks that will come around the Democratic Party will bring a woman forward. And history will repeat itself. History will repeat itself. When I was watching David Wilcock and he was talking about Biden's inauguration and how nobody had medals on, and yet all the previous presidents, the military had medals on, And it sort of confirmed where I've said this before in past streams, is the two militaries. Where I had talked about where I had gone in when Donald Trump was in office, and I had looked into Cheyenne Mountain, and he was shaking hands, I've talked about this before, with a high colonel, and then he shook hands, and then they went off, they went home, and the colonel looked really nice. He had like grey hair, like Silver Fox, and he had all these different medals. Then he went off duty, Donald Trump went home, and then there was all this other military what was coming in, and I got the feeling that the military then was split. It was split. There was two militaries operating at the same time. So when I had watched David Wilcock's live stream, it makes you wonder what he had said about that, why weren't they wearing the military at the time of Biden's inauguration? Why weren't they wearing the medals? So that goes with my intuition and what I had remote viewed, that there's two militaries going on. There's two militaries definitely going on. People always wanted to know, who's going to be winning again in the next US election. And I'm not going to be so quick to jump at that, but Trump's still in the game here. It depends who he's up against. Now, history repeating itself could mean many different things. It could mean Trump and Biden again. But I have a feeling I'm not so sure about that. And if that's the case and I'm wrong, a woman will come in and replace. The other thing was history could repeat itself. Trump and Hillary. Is that possible? Is that possible? But history could repeat itself. It could be that it could mean that the Democrats could win again. You've got to understand, when you're given downloads, it could be misconstrued, a message, any different way, couldn't it? But my instinct tonight is saying that Trump could run again. It could mean many things, Franco. Many things. History is going to repeat itself. History is going to repeat itself. And like I said a few weeks ago, the next election will not bring peace to the United States of America. But you need to know that there is something going on at the moment, and people playing a vital part in history at this point now in time on Earth. Trump's playing his part. But something doesn't feel right tonight as I look into this crystal ball. Something's not fitting right. And I keep going back to the inauguration that time, and what I'm feeling tonight is telling me that there is deceit in the air, and we are going to start to see the glitches. I've always felt that they could try and do a Kennedy on him because they're so hell-bent on getting him out of the race. I hope not. But what I'm feeling is that there could be a close situation. There could be a close situation. But there's going to be a time glitch. It doesn't mean that they're going to try and assassinate him. It might just be a situation where he's here and then he's not there. Everyone's going to be talking about it. there's going to be a big glitch. And at that point, there's going to be something big happening. Glitches are coming in the matrix. What is this event? I'm seeing tunnels. Let's get coffee. I always do this when I come on a live stream. I should always get a cold drink. They look like sewage tunnels, you know, like as you're going underneath. Or get like a very Stranger Things energy, what's coming off tonight. I'm seeing it again. I've seen it the other night. Right, okay. Lots and lots of rats. Apparently, there's more rats than there is people. I used to have pet rats, but pet rats aren't the same as street rats. They can be really big, long tails. They can be like that with their tails. Sewage tunnels, they're coming up. Is it the plague returning? It's that they're getting disrupted. There's the explosion. Long tails, yeah. Nana would never say it. She would always say long tails because she was superstitious. There's going to be a problem with the water. There's going to be a problem with sewage water, tap water. I'm seeing lots of rats in New York, London. Something about like an explosion or something. Events. People running. Looks like subways. Train stations, subways, tube stations. Trapped, smoke. I've seen this before. The 8th, the 19th, the 28th and the 18th. Remember that. I mean, rats are everywhere, but they normally like go in the river or they go in the tunnels. But it's like they're coming up. It's like they're running everywhere. Am I seeing this sort of like is a symbol? I don't feel so. There's going to be a problem with sewage. Official people will stand on British television. I don't know if it's got something to do with Parliament, and they're saying there's a problem, high alert. I'm seeing Donald Trump coming off Air Force One. Am I looking back in time or forward? Neither. Why am I getting that A to I? Because there's no such thing as time. This time glitch has taken place. It's present. So you saying, this is one of my guides, A to I, that this is already happening, this is happening now, yes. Problems, subway, tube stations. I'm seeing a corner shop. I see two situations here. One's in New York. And the other one could be London or France. I say like the high buildings like we've got. like a little patisserie, like a cafe place. Terrorists, masked terrorists. I'm seeing them. The 23rd, the 24th. March? When's that? Is that this week coming in? Something is happening. I don't know where the planets are round about the 23rd, the 24th of March, but I'm feeling something big is switching over or happening. It's like they're panicking. It's like they're struggling. I'm going into Haiti. This is horrible what I'm saying. It was like one of the last roundups. They're still operating, the dark operators. Operations are taking place and they are freeing little ones. Spring equinox. I'm seeing a woman with dark skin. She looks like a judge, and I see lots of scandals and coming in around this woman. Now, I normally look on no more than 2 years sometimes, but this is like the next couple of months. They're gathering in information. They're trying to get him into court. It's May. I'm sure I said this was it a year ago I said this? I said May 2024, something big's coming for Trump. And I'm also getting the 15th and the 20th. Remember these dates. They're banning the people in the UK. There's going to be an uproar. I see like they've become too radical. They've become too radical in the UK. There is another guy, folks, to come. But it will not be the British people. It will be Islam. It will be the mosque which will take down Parliament. It will backfire on them. Where they have brought them in, trafficked them. Every one of them to make money. Mind controlling. It's happening. We do not know. These people, 9 times out of 10, they just want to come to Britain. They just want to come to Britain. They're not all bad, but they've been used a certain age, a fighting age, and not just the UK. They are doing this in the US as well. Oh, baby, it's okay. It will not be the British people who will be the next guy, folks. I predict tonight it will backfire on them. And then we will all join together. There will be a big clean-up. Some will have to leave. But there will be terror on the streets. Do you want to come and see? So every time I talk about Trump, she comes. Where's your sister? Come here, baby. Come and see everybody. Mrs. Orange Eyes. Make money. Human trafficking right underneath our noses. Right in front of our noses. Come here, baby. Is Mammy's girl, aren't you? What you saying? Is that right? I do animal communication. Oh, she says Trump's coming back. But she fears. I feel people's. I read horses. I'm like a horse whisperer, and I can like read animals. She fears that they could try and get him out. There's a lot of glitches to happen. Such a shock to come. It depends who he's running up against. There's only certain Democrats what will win him. If he's up against Hillary, he'll win. If he's up against Biden, he'll win. And if I'm getting this wrong, it's because of fiddling stuff situation. Because he's going to get a bigger following this time. If he's up against Michelle Obama, she will win. I believe that Tulsi will be the one he'll choose. But Tulsi's got presidential material. Remember, she was a Democrat. They didn't choose her because she wasn't DS. Because she called out Hillary. But Tulsi's got it. It's very possible she could switch to Republican. There's also Newsom, isn't there? But I'm not so sure about him. But watch Hillary. You haven't heard the last of Hillary Clinton. Isn't that right? Yeah, I can see Biden. He's got like a little earphone in and like a little earpiece. I don't know if they're very tiny where they can not see them. You know, like I'm not talking about like a hearing aid type of thing where you would see it. I don't know if the bug things they have are very tiny where you can't see them. Watch Hillary Clinton. It's about to get very interesting. History's going to repeat itself. My God, you're going to need your popcorn for this next election. Yeah, I worry. I've been very drawn to the Vikings, and because I live on very old, so like the Hadrian Wall where I live near, it's where they settled. And I've talked about this before, where I come from, Newcastle upon Tyne. The Geordie accent is the closest to the old Viking lingo. Like we'll say instead of town, we'll say toon. And that's what the Vikings said. So a lot of us have Viking heritage, like in our DNA. My mother's nearly full Viking. I got the DNA done for Christmas. Both my sons, my lucky boy, he's half Viking and half Scottish and Irish. Adam's 70%, actually he's more than that, 75% English and the rest of them's Viking. Hilarious. My daughter-in-law's nearly all Viking. Very interesting. So I talked about this a few weeks ago where I was standing outside in my mother's garden and everything went dark and black, like sort of like before you have a storm. And I felt this sort of glitch where I felt like I was standing in ancient times and I could hear like this do, 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 like them coming. It was like that energy. And I felt like a bit fearful. And I looked down and I had like this sort of like old sort of Saxon dress on. And I thought about it and I thought, us Brits, you know, we're very stiff upper lip. And we always sort of go along with things, but not this time. The British people have had enough. And I mean, what did our grandmas and granddads fight for? For what? For this? You know, it's going to get far worse. And you just don't know, you know, how many terrorists are actually here. It's quite alarming, really. And they do know they're here. And they do know, and they let them in. Ireland's absolutely... I worry about Ireland. It's if you Google terrorism and put it in on Google, it comes up terrorism alert. The highest alert is Northern Ireland. But what the press is doing is they're trying to make out the Irish people is the far right. Now, this is going to happen again, and it's going to happen in the United Kingdom. So when it kicks off, they're going to try and restrict it. But we've got all this Viking blood within we. But not just talking about that, we've also got a lot of different cultures here. Different Brits here are different cultures. You've got African people. You've got Islam here who were born here. All right. You've got Indian people. You've got all different cultures here. Scottish, Irish, Welsh, and us English men and women. And we're not going to, you know, it's like I do believe that all our lineages are coming out as we start to ascend. We're coming close back to our ancestors. And I just think that we're going to stand there and stand as patriots. And I think it's all going to kick off. That's what I believe. I don't believe that we are a multicultural race now in this country. And I don't believe that will never, ever not be. But we do not want any more riffraffing. The ones who aren't getting checked. And there is going to be a problem, but where they've tried to turn to separate with the media, the parliament, it's going to bring us closer together. And it's a very Christian country, is the United Kingdom, but there's a lot of mosques here. But don't forget, I read for a lot of people from different cultures, and we all get on. We literally all get on because we all understand each other. But when you're going into the depths of London, where you've got that, what's that bloody bloke called? The mayor. There's going to be a lot of problems what's going to take place in London. And I don't see him is going to be in for much longer. What's his name? We will win back the country. But what's going to happen is we will always have the church here, but the mosques are here to stay. Khan, he's going down. Something's going to happen to him. Sadiq Khan. But I see we're all joining together. But how the parliament and the borders, what they've been allowing to come in, for whatever dark agenda, because I feel there is a dark agenda with all of this, because they're doing this in the US as well, and they're doing it all over. I believe that something's going to happen, and they're going to, I think the people linked with the mosque are going to turn on the parliament. It's going to backfire on them. It's going to backfire on them. Mark my words. Don't forget, it's the media what plays on this to try to divide people. But we will all come together. Each and every one of it will all come together. And we'll all sort of be okay in the end. But we're going to have to, the parliament's going to turn on the British people and make what out to be far right. That's what's going to happen. But there'll be an uproar. and I see a lot of marching to take place in London, I would say into the summer months. But when you're coming into the north, there's a lot of different Islamic towns, like, sections of towns. And we're all mixing together, right? I call it Little India, where I go if I want to go and get my spices. And they all know us. They all come to us for readings and that. But it's as if, like, we respect them, they respect us. So they're not like terrorists. Do you understand? They're just normal Islamic people wanting to get on, hard-working people. And they say that, well, we've come together and God's brought us together, and we are the Chrislams. We are Christianity and Islam, which has come together, and we are the Chrislams. And it's not working to their agenda what they want. The dark DS side want us separated because they want we're fighting. But they will turn on the British government. Mark my words. They will be the next guy, folks. But us Brits need to have a safe country for our children. And we need people vetted to come in. I mean, you can't just swan off into Australia. You have to be checked. You have to say that you haven't got a criminal record. You've got to even have so much money to go and work in Australia or to live there. But it's not like that here. And I believe it's the same over in the US at the minute as well. So to me, what I'm getting in this crystal ball tonight is that there's been a big agenda behind it. There's going to be eruptions on. So I want to say crime's going to take a rise. So if you're living in sort of inner cities, to be careful, like London and places like that. Liverpool's got a high crime rate. Just places where because we need to make sure that we're okay. There won't be an Islamic invasion as such. It'll be a problem, and it will get corrected. But I feel that once the Tory party leaves, my concern is the Labour Party is no better. But there will be a woman to come forth. Now, I don't know if she's part of the Tory party who's going to replace the Prime Minister, or it's somebody coming in from the left, which is Labour. Because our left is different to your left over there, you know what I mean, in the US. Your right's our left and vice versa, do you know what I mean? But I feel that there's going to be a woman who's going to sort things out. But there's been a lot of corruption. There's been a lot of things brushed underneath the carpet. And what's going to come out with the UK is going to be bigger than the post office scandal. Watch for scandals to come out in the United Kingdom to do with councils, where there's been things done with money shifted. There's been a lot of nasty stuff what's happened and what's going to all come out to do with money, and it's got something to do with councils. So over here in the UK we have different councils of sections in the country, like we've got Newcastle Council, or different councils, and there's going to be something what's going to come out to do with scandals. So watch for that. And it's big, it's huge. Announcements will come into Parliament into June, July. Okay, what else am I saying? Schools will go on strike, or they may have to shut schools down. So there's an event coming, and I don't know if they're trying to trap we're in again, a bit like the pandemic, or the same we can't leave, or we can't leave, or it's something global going on at the same time. It's as if I'm looking down on Earth and I'm looking at everything going do, all happening at the same time. It's a temporary situation, but people will be stalled. Oh God, why am I saying this? Wait a minute. I don't know if I'm looking at this year or next year, but I see people getting called up. Called up into the forces. They used to do that in the 50s, didn't they? Did they do that in the 50s? Where they called people up, or before the 50s? Where you didn't have a choice. Things aren't what they seem. And also to do with the British royal family. I had a little rant about it, and I wasn't getting at Kate, because I like Kate. But what you need to understand is there's a lot more important things going on in this world. But people, obviously, it's been in the news. All this hoo-ha, what's been going on about the photo editing situation. If anybody doesn't know what I'm going on about, you can Google it. Where it was altered. And this conspiracy is going around that she's not here, or she's been done in by Prince William, or, you know, all of these crazy stories are out there. I do believe that they are having problems. I've covered this before to do with her health. She's still alive, okay? She will come back again. She's not supposed to be coming back again Easter months or soon. But going back to the editing of the photo, very convenient, isn't it? Let me get another coffee. She's having a bad time of it at the minute. And it's not a crime. It's not anything nasty or dark. I mean, just step out of the situation and look into it. I mean, I went quiet for a month or so, didn't I? Because I was having a bad time of it. And people were messaging me and, you know, and saying, what's wrong with you? You know, are you all right? Are you not well? Are you sick? But I didn't come out with it. But then I'm just somebody small fry compared to her. But what I'm saying to you is, she's just having a bad time of it at the minute. And I still go back to, it's a problem to do with something that she may find embarrassing and she doesn't want to talk about it. But instead of going into the garden to take a photograph because she might not have felt nice or looked so perfect, how she's supposed to look perfect. Maybe she hadn't washed her hair, or she was just sludging around the cottage in her jeans with no makeup on. I've done this before. I do this when I do my looking glasses. I might just put a nice picture out on a thumbnail of me with makeup on, but I might not be looking like that behind the scenes. I could be sitting there with greasy hair, no makeup on, sitting in my pajamas. So why can't Kate have time? And that's what I feel she's doing. So she's edited that and made mistakes on it because it's been a nice photo and she's tried to put it together with her kids to make something. That's what's happened. I do think, this is between me and you, that she is having a problem with a diet issue. Now, you could look at this two different ways. It could be bowel problems, You know, a lot of people get this, you know, like anything from colitis. I think there's been something going on. That's why she went into hospital and a womb thing. There's so many different things. There's something going on there. But I get a problem with eating. I'm not saying it's an eating disorder like what Diana had, but that would be interesting, wouldn't it? Because if things aren't healed, they can come back out again. I know this would be a shame, and it can repeat. And it can repeat with your children. I don't know if it's that, or she's got intolerances, or she just she's been having problems eating, but she's been poorly. But she's okay. She's not wanted to talk about it. I think what she's had has been a lot more serious than is letting on. And that's what Brits do. You know, we don't like to be poorly. We don't like to be. We have a stiff upper lip, and especially the royal family. But I think she's had rather serious health condition there, and she's dealing with it in her own way. Will they get divorced? I don't feel he's been an angel. I think there's been another lady in his life with blonde hair. But I believe that the love is strong to come through this, because I've always seen her on money with. I've seen her as queen. She's like the new Diana, isn't she? She's so beautiful. But like I say, I think the press just need to leave her alone. I really, really do. It's scandal, scandal, scandal. But it's a diversion. This is what we'll do. It's a diversion to get you distracted, because the press, the mainstream media, is part of the DS to keep you distracted from what's really going on. But she hasn't been feeling Miss Perfect. That's why she put that. That is why, and I'm getting this really strong, that is why I've done it. There'll be YouTubers on here who'll tell you it. If we don't feel right, we don't look right, you'll get an old photograph and we'll Photoshop it and stick it on. Stick it on, you know, make it look nice. You're doing it when you're doing the... What's them cards we have in the UK where you can put them together and you get a nice picture and you can put it on a Christmas card and all of that? Is it moonpig.com or something? She's just been playing around because she didn't feel up to it to have a photograph taken that day. It's a distraction. Yes, they've had marriage difficulties, but they still love each other. He loves her. So I don't know what's been said out there. All the crazy stuff what's been said out there. I don't feel it's true. She's going to be the future icon for fashion, you know, like Jackie Onassis, Diana. But that ring she holds on her finger, which is Diana's ring, spiritually, what Diana suffered with, she may also suffer. But she doesn't need hate sent to her, she needs love sent to her. And no matter what you think of Kate, she's a good mother. The press, the horrible media, what they did to Diana. And I know there's a lot of people in this audience who aren't keen on the royal family or keen on the Queen. But the Queen stepped in when Diana died and she took the boys up to Sandringham to get them away from the paparazzi. She brought them basically up while they were teenagers. She kept them away when they were young boys, when their mother died. Yeah, she's battling something at the minute. And she's not coping. But she will be okay. She's sad. She's sad. It's like she feels she's lost something and she's having to deal with it. Like most women go through things. And I can relate with that. And I'm not saying she's going to lose a boob but you don't know if she's lost her womb. You don't know. That's a big thing. It's actually a major operation, having a hysterectomy. She's sad. She's needing to have time out. And the press need to leave her alone. There's a rise on women and women sticking together. Will it come out? I don't know. One day maybe. She may put it into a book. Why am I being told Kate one day will write a book? Maybe she's got a writer in her. Yeah, it's a distraction. But no, they'll stay together. I think she's been in around her parents a lot. And her sister. It's a woman's thing. That's the only thing I can... That could mean many things, like has she lost her womb? Or has she had a cancer scare? They said not, but then again, they don't believe anything they say. Has she lost a baby? Can she not carry anymore? We'll never know, but all you need to know is that she's going through a reset. Like I'm going through a reset. This woman is going through a reset. But she's also been struggling with something else. Yeah. She's still alive. Take no notice of the silly conspiracies what's out there. She's still alive. No, I don't believe it's alcohol. I know this I've seen all the crazy videos. I've seen it all. No. She's just needing time out. There is a bit of it'll have to be something I'll have to cover at another point, but you've got like the dark side and then you've got the real dark side. The dark side, what's wanted to attack the monarchy, and people out there will say, well, they might not think that's dark. Do you know what I mean? But is there a targeting going on? There's always been a targeting going on. But just because you're royal, just because you're famous, you're not immune to getting diseases or getting problems. Like I said this last year. Nobody is immune. I still say it now. We are all going through a big reset in our lives and we're healing old wounds. And you can't help who you're born into. So in King Charles's situation, he's healing. But I think that's his lower chakra. It's about feeling safe. I don't feel he really wanted to be king, but he knew he had to because he's been born into it. He just wanted to carry on growing his vegetables in the village. Does that make sense? And doing what he did, sitting in his healing yurt on his land and that. it's all been too much for him for the age of him. William's going to end up being king very, very soon. Very, very soon. If not by the end of the year, into the beginning of next. I predict tonight, is it abdicate? Or when he comes away? Mind you, I do see black horses running through the streets of the UK. Kate will definitely be queen. And so will Princess Charlotte one day. One day, Princess Charlotte will become queen. Through a twist of fate. So that little girl that you are looking at is the next Queen of England. It is awful, isn't it? What Hazeltine's just put in that audience tonight on Twitch. Isn't it horrible you get your job when one of your parents pass? Yeah. The world's going to change, and so will the royal family. But there's a more of fairness to come here. I know there's been a lot of conspiracies out there, but you know, I'm just going with what I feel. She did a lot for this country, the Queen. She did a lot for the British people. Charles will not be on the throne long, I'm telling you that now. Charlotte, Princess Charlotte, yes, is the daughter of William. And it shouldn't be that case, because it should be William, then his son, or his son. So she's like fourth in line. I really don't know. But I'm predicting tonight that Princess Charlotte one day will be the Queen of England. I know, she's a little darling, isn't she? If you go back to old pictures of the Queen when she was a little girl, Princess Charlotte's the double of her. Monarchy is changing. And now you're looking at William as possibly, and Harry. I don't know what's happened to Harry. But you're looking at there is the last lineage of the ones who will be forced. The rest will take choices. The rest will be more easier going. But it'll always be a monarchy, but it'll not be like it used to be. Well, it hasn't been for a long, long time. I mean, if you're going back to the Tudor times where you had Henry VIII, he ruled England. He fought the church to bring in, the Catholic Church, to bring in divorce. But ever since then, it's not been the same. They've just been, it's like a showpiece, isn't it? Or the Queen comes on, or the King's speech, you know, the Queen's speech at Christmas time and all of that. But they open hospitals, that type of thing. Princess Anne is one of the most hard-working royals in the royal family, and she could step in for a little while before there's a coronation. Why would I say that? Maybe there's going to be more problems to do with Charles's health, so watch for that. But like I said, it's a distraction. I know some people like it, but it's when the press are going on so ridiculous about something which is not even important. You have to look at the bigger picture with what's really going on here. Okay. There is a next coronation to come sooner than what you think in this country. I wonder if that's what the black horse is I'm saying. I don't know. Harry will return to Britain, but there will be scandals to come with Harry and Meghan next as well, so watch for that. Because I don't feel Meghan's going to stay a whole life with Harry. She's going to end up with a big movie star of somebody or somebody in Hollywood eventually. So possibly watch for that. But again, there's a twin flame energy between them two, and they've had to meet for whatever reason, and they're playing out their karmic path together. When the lights go out, I get this horrible vision. I hate it when I say nasty things. That's the thing about, it's not nice. Do you know what I mean? I don't know why spirit does that. You know? Because it's not like we can do anything about it. But I see like a jihadi type of horrible man, and he's all masked up with his big hook knife. Can you remember a little while ago when they were on the news and they were doing awful things with people, chopping heads off and that, and they were... Was he talking about, you know, threatening David Cameron or Obama at the time? Can you remember? And it was all over the news, and they had these people and they had the hoods on and they were capturing these people. I'm seeing a situation like that coming to a peak again. Again, distractions. It's happening, but it's distractions. There'll be scandals to come out about how bad the borders have been in the UK. I think Rishi Sunak will be voted out or pushed out. Keep getting the Eiffel Tower tonight as well. There's a woman to rise in Canada. Trudeau isn't going to always be in politics, and he's going to leave. Angela Merkel, is that what you say? Angela Merkel or Angela Merkel, Germany. I'm getting some big news coming in around here as well. What's Mr. Putin up to? Busy making money with Xi Jinping. BRICS is on the rise. And so is India. India's going to become very powerful, definitely within the economy as well. A rise of the empires is to come within India. Joining with an old empire. Teddy's just said Putin got re-elected today. Okay. Economy. Oh my God. Either planning something, oh my God, and it's huge, and it's all to do with economy, and it's to do with BRICS, and what's the opposite to BRICS? Is it the EU? Anyway, they're planning on some big event to do with bringing the whole system down. That could be round about the time the lights go out. And I've seen this before when I've said, like, it's all to do with the crypto. Everything's going to go off. And we'll not even know what time it is. We'll have to prep. Get your candles, your jigsaw puzzles, your books. Relax. It's temporary. Then it comes back on again, and at that point, it's switched over. At that point, the good guys take control. It's not as black and white as it looks. You can't get rid of all the evil off the planet. You literally can't. But there's a balance what's happened. At that point, we will be where we need to be. But you still got to do your inner work. Don't look out at the situation, look in. But when I'm saying watch these events, a lot of them are distraction, but they are happening. Crossover of timelines. There'll be everything when the lights go out. Everything will drop. Currency. Crypto will zoom up. Zoom up. It's the way forward. But all the banks won't go down. But we will go back to like gold back. There's going to be scandals to come out to do with insurances, claims, interest within banks. Lots of people we're going to get checks. They're all going to come back to it. Now, I'm looking at the UK here. Maybe it's going to be in the US all over the place. Do you know what I mean? Europe as well. So there's scandals to come out with banks. But not all banks will fall. The timelines are swapping over and zigzagging now. Excuse me. They're swapping over and zigzagging now. Oh, I see loads of arrests on Ireland. And it's going to be the press. Thugs, far-right thugs, all of this. It's going to be on news and everything. But they're losing control, the Irish government. Rule number 1. You don't piss a Scotsman off and you don't piss an Irishman off, basically. Bad idea. Bad idea. Because we're all part of the collective, everyone's getting triggered. You see, the bigger picture to this is we're not just going on about ourselves. I've been doing a lot of meditation through everything that I've been through. We're healing our ancestral roots as well. So the people in Ireland will be. They'll be triggered from what their grandparents went through. Yeah, there's going to be hell to pay in Parliament. I see it breaking down. I really, really do. There's going to be a vote in the UK for a different type of government. How crazy would I get that? Now, I could be looking 3 or 4 years down the line here. I don't think it's that long. There'll be a massive vote. It's a once in a lifetime to be a Brit. We will all vote for a new type of system. So to clean up what is happening globally, it can't just happen overnight. It's got to take time and people with new ideas to come in. New ideas. British pubs under scrutiny. I don't know what that means. British pubs under scrutiny. Right, let's see if I can get anything else on America. Oh, I see little babas, little toddlers, like preschool, nursery school. They're singing. Little children. I could be going on to the end of the year, you know, here. Or I'm getting a very festive feeling. When children sing on British TV screens, it's something about a school or children or school children. It's going to start to craze off in the United States of America and everywhere else. Everybody's doing it on TikTok. Everybody's doing it on social media. Don't know what that is, but watch for that. The lights go out. It's funny because I'm looking into Antarctica here. It's all going on there. That's one of the main hubs. It's like a network, an underground network, like Star Trek. Do you remember that TV series, or was it a film called Logan's Run? Or The Island. Remember The Island with Scarlett Johansson in? Was it Ewan McGregor? When they were trapped, they were clones and they were trapped under... It's a good film. Talked about it before. It's all going on, all these underground cities, they're all connected. A lot of these booms have been, you know, where we've heard booms around the world and booms, strange booms in the middle of the night. It's because they're blowing tunnels through, they're building underground cities. It's a network, all connected. It's all happening. There's actually a company called Magway. I would show you it now, but I don't know if I'll get copyrighted for it. It's I'll quickly show you so you can check it out yourself within 2 minutes. And it's the building. It's going on here now where they're building underground tunnels for transportation, where you can, like, say if you order some groceries, instead of it coming on the van, it's to what they're doing about submissions or something, or what they're wanting to do out there, and they don't want to poison the air, so they're putting it underneath the ground, and it's like in chutes, and they're connecting it to Europe, and it's going to go to the States as well. But it's happening. It's a big massive network, but there's not just Magway. Excuse me, there's not just Magway, there's other companies doing this as well. I'll show you how futuristic. I'll turn it down. So you can see it, but you'll have to check it out yourself. Magway delivering goods. That's what's going on underneath our cities. And that's the future technology, what's coming in. And they're connecting all countries all together with this technology, transportation. We're going to have, not even within 10 years, you're not going to recognize this world, what's to come in. Don't forget, I've said this before. It's a question even, are we actually in 2024? Only because we're being told we are. It's big what's happening at the minute. But I'm saying the main hub is Antarctica. And they are interdimensionally travelling. They're working with extraterrestrials. You're talking Space Force, Galactic Federation. It's all happening. And I'm going back to this, that Donald J. Trump is connected with Space Force still to this day. I need a drink. He's connected with Space Force even to this day. Something big's happening. You've got to trust the process. I've got to read this, what Star Moon Stars has put. I'm wondering if our version of humanity will be obsolete, replaced by new coming version. Well, it's happening now. Seems so like we are outdated like dinosaurs. Well, a lot of we have become cyborgs. You literally have got no idea the technology what's being fired at way. And I mean, a lot of people are running around with these and people can't be without them. So we've come connected to them. And these devices are reading with. They're reading with. Do you know what I mean? Let's see what else I can see. Buses on strike in the UK. NHS will go tiered. And I predict it will go part privatised. But that's what makes our country the free medical care. I mean, when I'm having done, I could never have afforded privately, you know. The secret space programs are all going on. But the main hub, one of the main hubs I see is definitely in Antarctica. And they're connecting interdimensionally underground all. It's like a futuristic cities underneath the ground. I'm going to tell you something. And this is a true story. Because I'm not saying names, because obviously it's confidentiality when people come to us for readings. But it happened quite a few years ago. But this young lad came to see us for a reading, and he was like a startled rabbit. Okay? And he was a builder, you know, like a labourer. And he was working in Newcastle city centre. Right? Well, Newcastle town is a very old town. Like I say, it goes back to the Vikings. Okay? Like it's got a castle there, that's why it's called Newcastle. And any Geordies in the audience will know this. We've got a place called the Big Market. Gone is the day when I used to go to the Big Market. We used to go down there and get drunk. You know, I don't do stuff like that now. And have all the wine bars, and it was all crazy. But the Big Market used to be a market, like a marketplace where they all stand outside selling their goods. Like old cobble streets. And at the Big Market there was public toilets, and you would go down underneath to get to these public toilets at the Big Market. I don't know if they're still there, right? But anyway, you're going back to the early 90s. This young lad came to see us, and he was a big burly lad, and he come in. And he was frightened, and it came out in the reading that it was coming to lunchtime, and his gaffer had said, right, I'm gonna go and get some sandwiches, all right? I'll go and get some bait. You just stay there, son, and don't go down to the basement because you're not allowed. And he said, well, why like? And he says, didn't go down to the bottom, the lower ground level, right? Because you're not allowed. I've been told by higher gaffer, didn't go down to the basement. So he left him with his mate, and him and his mate went and had gone down to the lower level because they were curious in this old-fashioned lift that comes out into the lower level. And it was like something out of James Bond. Military turned up, right? Carted them away, pulled them into this room, which was like, it was like all underground futuristic. And threatened them that if he ever said anything, that he would be gone, and all of his family. And they sent them packing. Sent them back up the lift. And that's going back to the early 90s. And Newcastle is like a town in the north of England. So if it's going on in Newcastle, what the hell is going out elsewhere in the world, like the United States of America and London and places like that? Yes. There's something big going on. So my dad is a typical Geordie lad. He's grown up, born and bred Geordie. And he said that there's places around here which have like old air raid shelters where they've just locked them down. But some of these air raid shelters go right underneath tunnels, right underneath Newcastle. Really interesting. And then, as you know, I've got two sons. I've got Lucky Boy. I don't know if he's sitting watching this now. He's probably gone to bed because it's 1:45 in the morning. He was a good lad, grown up. Adam was a little shit. That's my youngest. And this particular day, I don't live far from the reservoir. And it's relatively new, this reservoir. But when he was younger, Adam, we had an old Presto's. It was like a supermarket, and they shut it down before they made the newer sort of shopping centre, which is now Morrison's. So it used to be called Presto's, right? I don't know if there's any Brits in this audience tonight. We used to have a supermarket called Presto, all right? And Adam being Adam, he was with his friends, and it was late in the evening and he was playing up at the shops. God knows where I was. I must have been doing a house party or something. And his auntie would have been looking after him. And he had gone underneath the old Presto's, and he said that they broke into the door, right? It was easy to get in. This is what he did. And they said it was all spooky. And there was like this darkened room with a chair sitting. And then there was ladders going down. So Adam was the smallest. So they sent Adam down, him and his mates. His mates sent Adam down this chute, down the ladders. And he went down. And he said he got that scared. He says because it looked like underground military, like something out of Stranger Things. So he come running back up again. And then a few years later, when he was about 18, he was up at the reservoir with his friends, and they had opened this door at the reservoir and it had gone underneath, and it was the same underground tunnels, and that's just on the land where I live. We just do not know what's going on. What I'm telling you tonight, there is something big going on. The world that we know and the world that we do not know. And, you know, my mum and dad were in like secret military. They worked during the Cold War. And my dad's told me stories, what it was like then in the 60s. So you've got literally no idea what is being held back from it. Literally no idea. And these are just from stories I've heard. But as I'm remote viewing into this crystal ball tonight, it's all going on. I don't think the world is just us living on top. That's what I'm trying to say. I think that there's an inner world, an underground world. So a lot of Space Force is being operated like Area 51 and that. A lot of it, all these secret places are going on underground. Underground cities is what I'm seeing tonight. And I've seen this before when I've remote viewed on Mars, the moon. It's the same up there as well, out there in the Milky Way. Going back to 9/11, when all that money went missing from the Pentagon, was it billions and billions of dollars, of taxpayers' dollars? I believe it went into these secret space programs. That's what I believe. They can't hold it back for much longer. Satellites. I'm going to leave you with this tonight because I'm going to have to go. But satellites are being given. When the lights go off, the satellites will be switched on and it will bring in the new internet. And I'm not talking about Starlink here. We're going way beyond. We're going to catch up to time where we should really be. You need to question everything. Super fast internet on a different level. This is all old fashioned. We are in this little nth of the cake that kept everything back. All about greed, all about technology. I can see him. I can see Donald Trump. And he's connected with Space Force. And I want no sarky emails. You've gone towards him. No, I'm just telling you what I see. It's all happening. It's all happening. There will be an event which will take place in the east. That will be the start of it. Then there will be blocked people to get goods in and out, and it will affect the food chain. That's the next biggest thing after the lights go dark. When it goes dark, the lights go out, because they have to also, where there's a bad thing, there's a good thing behind it, because they have to change it. They have to change everything, and the food chain will be the next thing on the agenda in banning the plastic. So whatever's going on 3D, there's a bigger thing happening behind the scenes. It's all quantum what's coming in. Oh, I'm seeing the polar bears. They're really struggling at the minute, you know. There's going to be a massive problem to do with the ice cap. They're going to be pushing that as well. They're going to be talking about that. Crazy, crazy, crazy weather to come by the end of the year. They're going to try everything to stop that man getting in to the White House. They are going to try everything. But when an event takes place, people will have glitches. And it doesn't mean it's Donald Trump. It may be somebody who looks like Donald Trump, but it doesn't mean it's Donald Trump. And I'm going to leave that one with you for the night. I'm off to make a hot chocolate. And hope you've enjoyed that. And stay safe. Stay vigilant. But know that there's big things happening behind the scenes. It's huge, guys, what we're in. Absolutely massive. Glitches are coming because the old timeline is breaking. Nothing is what you think it is. I talk about this all the time. It's like I'm talking from the UK to people in the US. So I'm talking from you from the future. But we're talking at present moment in time. It doesn't make sense. Everything on this planet is being made up by numbers. And that's breaking. And we are ascending. It is biblical what we are in. What a time to be alive. Do your inner work. Stay vigilant, but do your inner work. Don't get caught up in too much of the drama. And I'll see you again soon. And goodbye from me. And goodbye from Wonder Woman. And I'll see you soon. Take care. God bless.